It's happening. All right. Well, hello, APNPI world. I'm Tracy and I'm here with Amanda Capello right now. We're going to be talking to her. She's the photographer of the year for 2023, and we're just going to have a little chat about all that fun jazz. And congratulations again. So from one photographer of the year to another, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Amazing. So I'm coming to you all the way from Canada, Ontario, and Amanda here, she's from Phoenix, Arizona, right?
Yeah,
That's awesome. How's the weather there today?
it's actually one of the rare cloudy days that we get. We don't get many clouds or rain, but today is super cloudy. I wonder if it's going to be raining.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Well, as you can see, we have a little bit of sun today, so I'm like absorbing it through the window as much as I can. We've had snow for like the last 3 days, so it's been
Oh.
total crap. Welcome to Canada. I don't know why we live here. But it was beautiful to look at, not to be outside in, but that's fine.
Yeah. Well, I'm originally from Connecticut, so I know the snow well, but I
Yes.
don't miss it. I've been in Phoenix since 2011 and it's nice weather year round, so that's nice.
Awesome. That's amazing. Well, let's just dive in. So you are officially the photographer of the year, and for those of you who don't know what that means, it is based on your competition results. So if you're entering into the spring and the fall competitions and you are landing in those top three categories, like the first, second, and third, at the end of the year, if you have accomplished more than one or several in those categories, and you've come in first, second, or third, it does tally up, and the photographer who has the most merit points at the end of the year is photographer of the year. So congratulations again. Your work was absolutely fantastic, and if you haven't had a chance to go and check out her work from that, go into the APNPI, go check out the image competition, and then you can scroll through and see all the work that Amanda put through on all of her images, and they're absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
You do a lot of work in whites. Your white balance is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I was talking earlier this week with Shan Fisher, and she also works light and bright. My goodness, the control that you ladies have. I'm always amazed when people can shoot light and bright, because, working with white and the color cast, it can hit you hard, and it's a fine balance when you are working with your whites, and your whites are just absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, I actually only work on white. My studio is completely white. The floors are white, the walls are white. If I'm using a backdrop, it is also white. No matter how I light it, it changes a little bit, with the grayscale, but I'm always shooting on only white actually. I have shot on maybe just for like a fun project, something else, but all my client work is white only.
Light and bright, which is
Yeah.
absolutely stunning. And again, I adore all of anyone who can do that is hands down. It's like, whew. And if you are a new photographer and you're struggling in whites, you are not alone. It is not an easy task, and we do actually have tutorials in the APNPI. If you go to the work, is it not the classes, the education classes? There are some classes on how to shoot whites and how to edit whites. They're both two different processes, so check that out if you haven't already and you're interested in looking into shooting on light and bright. And if you're not following Amanda already, you need to go to Instagram, go on her, and if you want to just let everyone know what your Instagram is, and we can put it below as well at the end of this so they can come in and tag and follow you and enjoy all your work.
Yeah, it's just at acapella photography, and I think there's an underscore between acapella and photography, but we can leave it in the notes for sure. But yeah, find me on Insta.
Right. So when it comes to competition, when you're shooting your sessions, are you planning your competition work, or you just happen to be in a session and you've shot something and you go, oh, that's the one? How do you work your flow when it comes to submitting images?
Yeah, actually, those images were all client work. I actually stay super busy. I wish I had more time to like shoot for competition or shoot for myself, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But no, those are all client work. It was just like, going through my own portfolio, critiquing myself and being like, this one looks like it would stand out in a competition. Or when I caught the image, like obviously, when you're in the middle of a session and you're just like, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful,
Yeah, you know it. You
Yeah,
click it and you go, oh yeah, and you're like, yes, that's
yeah.
the one.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah. So yeah, those were all client work. I just wanted to submit some work that I thought would stand out. Occasionally I'll shoot for myself, but it's a rare occasion. I wish I had more time to do that or shoot for competition. But every once in a while I'll get a client that comes in that's like, hey, just do whatever you want. And then I'm like, this is fun. And then those are some of the images that become my favorite too, and that I can kind of take a client session, but also shoot for myself and the client rather than just the client. When you have clients come in and
yeah.
I want this, 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 and this, and you're like, okay, then you're shooting for them what they want. But when you have a client come in and they're like, dress me up, do whatever you want, I'll wear whatever you think, I'll do whatever you think, then you're just like, what? Wait, say that again? Are you sure? Okay, great, let's do it.
Yeah, like a photographer, that's a photographer's dream. Having
Yeah.
full control over your session is it's absolutely amazing. Yeah.
Mhm.
So would like advice that you would give someone who's looking to submit images for competition, you're like, what would you say is something to look for that would stand out? Or if they were to maybe even have like a model call, if they
Mhm.
have the time to like shoot for competition, what's something that you would like a tip you would give or like to just encourage them to like look outside the box or how would you go about that?
Yeah, I think what it comes down to for me is like the full concept. Like it takes a lot of preparation to kind of come together with a full concept of lighting, outfit, styling, editing, like, really something that you can put a lot of thought and effort into, and just make sure everything looks good. When I am working for myself or working for, a shoot that I really want to have full control over, then, I'm really thinking about what can we do with the hair? What can we do with the makeup? What looks best on this body type? What pose is going to be great? What lighting's going to be flattering? Like what's going to be a strong face? Even like facial expressions, hand positioning, like all of the little things that you don't think about. And then when it comes to editing, like, just making sure composition is spot on, there's nothing blown out, that the editing is like no banding, things like that, that are going to really make your image kind of that flawless, refined kind of look. I think those are some tips that would do well in competition. But yeah, I mean, it's fun to come up with and style different things. Like I just had a session and the woman let me do whatever I wanted and it was so much fun. And I was like, yeah, girl, let's do this. And I got to dive in and I actually plan on submitting some of these into the next competition. So I won't give too much away, but uh,
Nice.
it's just so much fun when you're able to take full control over it. So have fun, play around with lights. If you're doing something and you're like, the outfit's on, but the lighting just isn't exactly spot on, then take a moment and change your lighting and see, okay, does this look better? Does the hair pop better in this? Like, or whatever the case is, what are we trying to highlight here? So yeah, I guess that would be some of my tips. Just play and have fun.
That's a great tip, just even in general for when you're shooting anybody, whether it be either maternity or it's any portraits, headshots. Take your time, readjust things. I think a lot of the times we get wrapped up in thinking that we have to rush
Mhm.
and like, oh no, what if I have to change something and I don't want them to be waiting. But
Yeah.
they paid you, they want your work, and if you're going to take 5 minutes to completely change a lighting setup, they're going to
Yeah.
be happy in the end because they know
Yeah.
that you're going to bang out something amazing. And
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
what? Even if it doesn't work, you can even be like, yeah, it didn't work. And they'll be like,
Yeah.
ah, you tried.
Totally.
Whatever.
Oh my gosh, full transparency. I do that in all my sessions. I'm just like, I'm gonna try something. I no promises, oh my cat. There's my cat. He's
Oh,
he's sitting up there. I'm like trying to shoo him away, but he made his appearance. Um, so anyways, yeah, like I'll just be like, I'm gonna try something. If it doesn't work, no promises, but and then if it works, I'm like, oh my gosh, thanks so much for letting me try this. And if it doesn't, I'm like, well, thanks so much. We gave it a try. We just move on with life. And no matter what, we always create something. Okay, I got to take him down. He's being
it's all black cat.
obnoxious.
Oh, the cat. Oh, yeah, it's important to like, hey, just go for it, and you never know what you're going to get out of it, and you can get amazing images, which is great because you're like, oh, I didn't think of doing that before, and then it can
Yeah.
change how you shoot like going on and you're into other sessions, which is always fun. It's always fun
Oh
to
my
keep
gosh.
going around.
Yes, absolutely. Once you're like, oh, wait, I loved how that turned out, then you have that skill to use again, and refine it. So yeah, always play and try. That's what I love about photography is like it's forever, ever learning. There is never
Yeah,
like I know it all, and so just having that ability to just keep learning and push and create and just every day get better and learn something else, that's what's so fun about it.
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. What did you think when you won the award? Did you have a feeling it was coming up?
No,
No?
not even at all. No, I was like floored. I'm like, wait, what? Me? Oh, what? Okay. Wow. Thank you so much. Like,
That's awesome.
yeah.
And what is this like? What does this mean for you going forward with your career? Just having this achievement.
Yeah, I mean, it's super incredible. I'm humbled for sure. And like, not gonna lie, the little glass award is sitting on my desk. Like, I'm proud of
Yeah.
it.
Oh, mine is like it's in my studio, and I'm just
Yeah,
like,
mine is too in my studio. I'm not in the studio today, but yeah, it's in my studio sitting on my desk and I am like, heck yeah, I won that, Like it's so fun.
did you see that? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's me.
I mean, it is something to be proud of, and I think like I worked really hard to get here and submit my images. There's way back when I was too shy or embarrassed to even submit anything, let alone like submit and win an award. Like that's incredible. So it's just an achievement that I'm proud of. Yeah.
Absolutely, and you should because yeah, it's great to it is a good feeling. Absolutely, it's just like oh my gosh, but it is hard
Yeah.
work. You've dedicated a lot of time into
Yeah.
perfecting the craft that you do, and it pays off clearly
Right.
because your work is
Yeah.
phenomenal. Yeah,
Oh, thank you.
yeah. And so I don't know. So I have any other questions for you that I want to ask? Hmm. You've been in business. You were a math teacher before this
I
happened. I
was.
read that about you, and that blew me away. And I was like, "What?
Thanks.
Are you? I have that. Are you like a math nerd? Do you like math?
I don't even remember math. It was too long ago. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I like math. I do like math and I'm good at it. And I loved teaching it to be honest with you. But this okay, kind of like a little backstory. My mom was a photographer. I shot weddings with her when I was in high
Oh,
school. I took photography in high school and really fell in love with it. I took photography courses throughout college, even while I was studying to become a teacher. I got my master's in administration. I thought I was going to be a school principal, all while having our first child. And then I decided to be a stay-at-home mom. And, lucky enough for me, I was able to stay at home with my babies. And kind of in the meanwhile, I was doing photography as a hobbyist, just here and there for teacher friends, family members, things like that. But
that's
not
how it gets you.
right, right,
You're
but
like, oh
not as
no, oh no, crap! I want to do this forever.
yes, and I actually had that conversation with my husband. I was like, "Wait a minute, like I think this might be it for me." And we had to sit down and I was the plan was that I would go back to work when my kids were in kinder. But actually started photography long before that. It
Awesome.
just started booming and then I was like, "Well, if I can get to a point where I can sustain a business, then it would make sense for me to just keep doing this, and then yeah, I think over a few years it just became clearer and clearer like I want to do this and then yeah, 10 years later I'm not looking back.
Wow, that's incredible. Does your
Yeah.
mom still shoot? What? Or like,
No.
is she retired?
She's retired. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
been a photographer since she was 16 and she learned from my
Wow.
uncle and he had a dark room in his basement and I
Oh
learned how
yeah,
to develop
good old
film
darkroom.
and yeah, and I learned the craft when I was young. So it's not super out of left field like going from math teacher to
Yeah,
photographer as it may seem like,
there's a lot of math involved.
calculated brain, creative brain, but there is, and also like it's totally helped me on the business side of things for sure. Um, but yeah, I mean, I love what I do, wouldn't trade it for the world. I don't see myself going back to the classroom anytime soon, that's for sure.
You
Um,
wouldn't go back and teach photography?
No.
No. You're like, I don't want to do it. She's like, you'll teach adults, you'll teach us, but you know, not
Yeah,
students.
I mean, I have some education out there right
Yeah,
now,
you do. Yeah.
but I mean, in the classroom for students, I don't
You're like,
know. Maybe
no.
when I'm retired, like retired and want to just have a low key thing. Who knows? You never know
Right.
where life is going to take you, but right now I am absolutely loving working with, motherhood and maternity and newborns and families and, just rocking the studio. I just love it.
Is your studio, are you a home-based studio or do you have a studio space?
No, yeah, I have a commercial space, so
Nice.
I'm not in there today, but yeah, that's
Oh,
where
that's awesome. That's
yeah.
amazing. Yeah. That's very cool. Oh, I love that you like that's a really great way of coming about it. And like there is a lot of math involved in photography, and I don't know if
Yeah.
I knew that going into it. Because I remember when I first started learning, I thought, oh, I didn't know there was math. I don't like math. But it is for some reason, I guess my like creative brain like if someone said like explain the math to me, I'd be like, I don't know, but my brain just does it. Like I
Yeah.
know if I have to go up to f stops, I know that my ISO has like
Yeah,
I
we
can
adjust.
do it, but
Yeah.
I don't think I can explain it. But yeah,
Yeah.
the fun of math versus the creativity in photography is it's fantastic. But it comes in
Mhm.
handy when you're like working with strobe lighting and you're working with multiple lights, which you do that is like you work with like from what I can see, there's a lot of strobe lighting in there too, right? Which
Yes.
is
Yeah,
great.
I
Yeah.
work with both natural light and with strobe,
Yes.
so,
That's cool. What's your favorite thing to shoot? Or is
Well,
it
I get asked that all the time, but honestly, I think that I couldn't just shoot one genre, but motherhood for sure. Like, I
okay?
don't shoot outside of the realm of motherhood. I do moms, babies, families, newborns, like everything based around motherhood. But like, if I was just doing newborns or just doing maternity, like, I think it would get boring after a while, for me at least. Like, I
It
like to
would,
be
yeah.
able to kind of do it all within that same genre. I'm not like branding myself as the headshot master or the,
Mhm.
corporate pictures or events. Like that's not my genre, but yeah, within that realm, I love it all.
It's awesome. Very cool. Yeah, I think that's with a lot of photographers. There's not one specific thing that they love, but and even if they answer, I find that a lot of photographers be like, "Oh, I really love sitter sessions," and they're like, "Oh, actually, no, maybe I like oh," and then I like it all. I just love it all because
Yeah,
there's great
yeah.
things about everything that you do, right? Like every
Right.
there's good moments and there's not so good moments in every session that you love. So it continues your journey into each one, which is that's why we do what we do.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. And do you have any goals for this year? Are you gonna you gonna try to do like the back-to-back photographer of the year?
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm gonna submit, but I'm not having
You
any
never know.
expectations, happy to share it, to pass it on the torch, but no, yeah, I'm gonna submit. I love just having fun submitting, and it's honestly great, like feedback from the judges. I love being a judge myself. I can look and
Yeah.
listen and hear what other people have to say, and I can give my 2 cents too, just from where I'm coming from. Um, yeah, I mean, I love being part of APNPI and I think it's incredible. And I think everybody should give it a shot to submit and, yeah, see where it takes them.
Do you, when you're ready to submit your images, do you have close network of photographer friends that you throw your images through and be like, "Hey, these are my submissions. Give me
I
your."
don't.
No, okay.
Maybe I should. Should I do that? I don't
No,
know.
you don't have to.
No,
I do. I'm that person.
you
So
are okay.
I'm always sending them off.
No, I
And
don't.
I'm like, pick your favorites or tell me what I have to fix or do you
Oh,
see something I don't see?
mhm.
Because I'm always just nervous that I've stared at it so long that I've missed something. So
Yeah.
that's my
Yeah.
process.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I should get friends' feedback.
You
I
don't
have
have
a lot
to.
of good friends in the
Clearly
industry.
you're
So,
doing well. It's
oh,
fine.
thanks.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I when I'm picking images, I do have a process of my own where I go through like, certain things that sessions that I like remember loving like a certain image from, and I'll go pull them all and then I kind of compare them side by side and
Yeah.
see like what do I like, which one's stronger, and then I kind of narrow it down. And then once I come up with my final whatever image or two or three that I want to submit, then I'll make sure that like everything looks good in editing. There's nothing else I want to like change or make any different for competition edit versus just like a client edit kind of thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, for the most part, I just do it myself.
That's okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not a wrong. There's no wrong or right way. Yeah. I think of for a while I myself I would just submit, but I find the last few years I just liked having extra eyes on it, just so
Yeah.
I knew which image was stronger because sometimes they can be so similar, and which one would they recommend, or did, again, like I said, do they see something that I don't see? Do they see banding
Yeah.
perhaps? And I'm not seeing that. And for anyone who is listening in and they don't know, we've mentioned banding. And if you don't know what banding is, that's
Uh,
when you're on your image and it's usually on a darker background. You'll see like little waves, like almost like water droplets, I guess, like like an oil spill. That's kind of what it looks like sometimes. It can happen on white as well, and it
mhm.
usually tends to be like a green or like a magenta purpley kind of
Yeah.
circular dot. That's not good. Don't put an image in. Don't submit an image if it has that. There are lots of tools and actions you can get for Photoshop that like kill banding, that will just take that right out. Or you can even sometimes you can just lightly brush or clone it out. But yeah, check for those because you don't want to submit something that has banding. It sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Great. Yeah. You mentioned that you do have some educational information on your site, or like educational courses. Do you want to take just a minute or two, just give a little shout out to your
Yeah.
site that you have?
Yeah, thanks. I'd love to. I offer, well, right now I have an online course for newborn photography. And that goes through like my entire workflow, wrapping, posing. It covers the entire family session, sibling poses, and newborn wrapping and posing on the bean bag. And so it goes through the entire workflow. It talks about lighting, where to position the bean bag, where to position the people in relation to the lighting. It goes over my personal settings. It goes over all the equipment you need to use, how to set up everything. So it's pretty much like everything I do
It's a
thrown.
good how-to guide to start for sure.
Yep, throwing it at you. So you can get started right away. I think when I first started newborn photography, I tried to DIY it, like learn on my own, and I wish I just grabbed a course, to be honest with you. And that's why I
Yeah.
created it. I was like, I just want to hand hold you through everything you need to know to get started. So
Yeah.
that's why I created it. So that's that. And then I also offer coaching calls to go over, if you need to refine anything like that, we can chat via Zoom, like business stuff, client experience, editing, things like that. So I do offer that. And then if you're in the Phoenix area, I offer in-person half day intensives. So they can come into my studio and we work together for 4 hours on various different topics, and we bring in models and I teach you, basically everything, lighting, anything that you're looking to learn. So
That's something, I don't know if APNPI offers that to like let people know that you're in Phoenix area, I'm out in Halton Hills in Ontario, et cetera, et cetera. Like if you were looking to mentor up with someone to do a one-on-one, I don't know if we have a system in place for that. And
oh, well,
I don't
I'm
know.
here if you're
I
in
know we have
Phoenix.
like there is a new mentor program. So if you are a new member and you are looking for a mentor, that is available to you. But I don't know if there's like a one-on-one that I don't know if that's that. I don't know. For me, that sounds interesting, and perhaps we should mention this and see what the board thinks.
There you
Maybe
go.
just having like a list of who is available, who's interested, and that way, if there are new photographers in the area or they're new to APMPI and they are looking for someone to connect with in person, not just like via like a Zoom or Facebook, perhaps that's something we can just discuss. We'll see what
Yeah.
I'll see what they say after.
All
Like,
right. You let me know.
I don't know. I think that would be cool. I don't know if that's something you'd be interested, but if you're already doing it, maybe like it's just connecting up with the APNPI members. It just,
Yeah,
puts a little
absolutely.
more into our community, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Always brainstorming,
That's
always
right.
thinking for something.
Yes.
But
Long
again, it's
answer
like
for
we're
me.
always trying to like teach, right? And just trying to educate
Yeah,
and making sure that we're all in the same level and moving forward. Um,
absolutely. community, I'm here for it. I love
That's
it.
awesome. That's so cool. Awesome. I don't really know if I have any other questions for you.
Okay.
What's the rest of your year looking like? Are you looking to try anything new in photography, or I don't know, anything
Well,
different?
yeah, I've been asked for years to do boudoir because a lot of my
Mm.
maternity is naked, and so I just took on boudoir in the last, I don't know, year and a half. So
Okay.
I'm dipping my toe into the water
Hey,
there, and giving that a try. And
she's
I've been
dipping her
really,
naked toe
that's
into.
right, that's right. But yeah, no, I mean, again, more like motherhood focused, like postpartum moms, ready to
Yeah.
rock their body and, feel empowered and stuff like that. I have done a couple bridal like boudoir, but yeah, for the most part, it's my own clients who come back and want to do boudoir. So it's just another way to offer
That's
like
fun.
for my clients to come back and see me again. And I think
Absolutely. That's very
ultimate
fun.
goal, yeah, is to
Yeah.
be like your photographer for life kind of thing. So yeah, any way you can
Yes.
invite your clients back in again and again, it's great for business and great for the relationship you're building with your clients. And so anyways, yeah, just really
That's
focusing
cool.
on building my, client relationships and seeing how else I can serve my people. But yeah, I mean, as far as like trying anything new other than that genre, I mean, I'm always trying new things with lighting and with, styling. And I'm always trying to look for things that inspire me. Actually, this year, in the beginning of the year, I got bit by the creative bug, and I was looking at different like magazines and
Great.
like I looked for Vogue. My style is like super Vogue inspired or just like
Yes.
kind of couture vibes. So I've been looking through different inspirations, and that's kind of sometimes how I will gather inspiration is through other things that I see. And I saw this shoot that Miley Cyrus did, and
Oh
like kind
yeah, I know the one you speak
of,
of.
yeah, and I was like, "Well, girl, I love that." And so I did like a my take on it, like a recreation one,
Yeah.
and I have a reel on my Instagram. You can go look. But anyway, so I was like trying to recreate my take on like famous portraits. And I think that was like a really fun project for me.
Yeah.
So I did a few different people. I did Miley and I did Beyonce and I did one other, but I don't think I've posted that one yet. But anyways, yeah, I mean, just like coming up, pulling inspo and trying things that are new and different just to shoot for myself, as well. So that's kind of what's on my to-do list.
That's really fun. I really like that idea.
Being
Yeah.
inspired.
Yeah, it's important to stay inspired too. So that's actually a really fun way to stay inspired because you obviously can use it continuing on with your brand. But it just kind of brings a little new level to the table. So that's cool. I like that.
Thanks. Yeah.
Uh, Interesting. So perhaps we might be seeing some stuff coming up in competition that could relate to that. I don't know.
You don't know. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I have a few in mind to submit, but more maternity realm. But it'd be cool is if we did like yeah, like a person who wasn't pregnant, like a Miley image, but made it a pregnancy one. I didn't even think of that. I more so made it like a just a mama. But yeah, I mean, the sky's the limit. When you're
Yeah,
creating, you can just take it in any direction that you want to, make it your own. And so yeah, that's what I plan on
cool.
doing this year is just trying to stay inspired and continue to learn and grow.
That's awesome. Well, I'm excited to see what you're submitting. I haven't chosen my images yet either. I
Okay.
will be last minute, like
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
single. I am like midnight.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
submitting.
When's the deadline? Remind me. I need to
Yeah,
know.
I believe it is the 16th.
Okay, we're coming close.
It's
I'm
coming
gonna
up.
get
It's
my
coming up.
act
Like yeah, like
together.
11 days. You know what? I could be wrong. I think it's the 21st. Ooh, this is where I need someone to jump in.
Oh, that's
It's open
okay.
as of right now. Early bird is open right now.
I put
Um,
you on the spot. I'll look it up, I
And
promise.
I do believe that the early bird is now and then to the 16th and then 21st is the actual deadline. So
Okay.
you want to save a couple dollars, you want to get in on that early bird. But if you're like me, you will leave it to like 11:59 and you'll be submitting at that last minute because you are changing your mind and still editing something. That's how I roll. I do my
There,
best work under pressure.
there you go. I
Yep.
love it. Well, if you need a vote of encouragement, feel free to send it over and I will tell you, rock on, girl, you submit that.
Awesome. So, sorry. Canadian cough. Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
So we're gonna wrap up now, but thank you to Amanda here for sitting here and chatting me with for that. Let's try that
We
again.
got you. We got
Thank
you.
you, Amanda, for sitting and chatting with me about being Photographer of the Year. And I look forward to seeing what you're going to submit. And anyone else, please be submitting some images for this coming competition, for the spring competition. And if you are looking for feedback, we have our Feedback Fridays. You can submit some images and get some feedback on that if you are just wondering if there needs any work, or just see if there's any other photographer out there that could help you out and get some eyes on your work if you're just a little nervous. But we do encourage everyone to please submit your images. It's great, and I know it's scary, but we've been at the very beginning of this. I remember the first time I submitted, and it was just like a mm, womp womp, and you do see how your work can improve, and then you become Photographer of the Year. So it's a great achievement to have. So you got to start somewhere. Please enter your images. We love to see them. So again, Amanda, thank you for joining us today, and thank you everyone. And until next time.
Thank you.